Dun dun dun! Could this be the end of PlayStation hardware as we know it? Will the PlayStation branded hardware family of consoles and handhelds meet its doom? Is the Vita and the PlayStation 4 the last of the console and handheld family? Tune in and you'll find out in the future! Or just watch the rest of this video because I'm going to be talking about that because there was an interview and that was a point to be making this video right here! Hi, welcome! This is AlphaOmegaSin and no, I did not take my medication. Fuck you! Anyway, so the president of Sony Computer Entertainment Worldwide Studios, that's mouthful, that's what she said. Shuei Yoshida went on to have an interview which was translated by DualShockers, talking about the Gaikai service, which is the streaming service that the PlayStation 4 is going to be using for streaming PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 games, because, well, the system isn't backwards compatible because that will cost a shit ton of money and yada yada yada, blah blah blah, and things of that nature. Well, that's what they're going to be using, but in addition to them going and acquiring Gaikai for streaming services like that, Mr. Yoshida went and talked about, you know, all the things that this could actually mean in the future for the PlayStation brand, PlayStation family, and shit like that. And in a lot of ways, kind of just spells doom for anybody that's like a dedicated console or dedicated handheld gamer, because this could be the end of console and handheld gaming, at least under the PlayStation umbrella. But I kind of had a feeling that this upcoming console generation was going to be the end. Now I'm going to go and rattle off a couple of random quips and quotes from Mr. Yoshida, so here we go. Alright, first thing that he goes and says is that he sees the Gaikai streaming service as a key to his goal of transforming PlayStation from a hardware platform to something closer to a service. So that makes me think of shit like Netflix and blah blah blah. Anyway, so going on, he also says, speaking of the ultimate goal, we would like to deliver PlayStation games to all devices. Yoshida stated in an interview with Dengeki Online, which, again, like I said, was translated by DualShockers, so we're considering various things like PC, TV, Blu-ray players, smartphones, and tablets. Lastly, he says, we hope to continue to expand not only to Sony devices, but even to devices other than Sony's. That is a fucking bombshell, just fucking mushroom clouds and shit like that, and skin just being ripped off and stuff like that. You know, and like that one scene in Terminator 2, which looked really awesome, by the way. But thinking about that, it's just like, dude, so PlayStation games on tablets, on smartphones, on PC. I mean, I could be playing Uncharted 6 on a Microsoft tablet, on one of their Lumia phones. Just that harkens back to whenever I saw Sonic show up on a Nintendo console for the very first time. I'm just like, what the shit the fuck? Thank you, James Rolfe, by the way. But seeing something like that, thinking about something like that, I'm like, dude, that is just mindfuckery at its finest right there. That's kind of cool, but at the same point, it's like, okay, I kind of like this, and I don't like it at the same time, so I'll go over, you know, all the various things about it that are awesome and aren't as awesome. The awesome parts of this is, say that Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo decide that they're going to go all digital, all that, and just put their games on various services that they go and have, you know, similar to Steam and stuff like that, or they just put their games out on various platforms and stuff like that. Well, imagine you're going to have an all-in-one machine. You know damn well that there's going to be third-party manufacturers out there who are going to make like one all-in-one machine, an all-encompassing gaming rig that can be upgraded real easily and stuff like that. Kind of similar to the Steam box and stuff like that. But this will be able to do everything. So you'll be able to play your PlayStation games on there, your Nintendo games on there, your Xbox games on there. You'll be able to go off and play games from Sega, from Namco, from EA, from Activision, from Capcom, from Square Enix, from a bunch of other random ass fucking companies, all in one machine. And I love that idea, and then some. I really do. Especially if this shit would go and alleviate some of the pressures of putting out hardware to said companies. So they could go and take all that money that they spent on doing stuff like that. They could focus it on making new IPs, on beefing up the teams that are developing games already. They could put the games out faster, or they could just dedicate more people to making them so the games can be more grand. I love that idea and then some, and that's a really positive aspect. No more having to go to the store, no more having scratch discs or a broken disc or anything like that. You can just go and download a shit, bam, right there in your fucking home. We've already been used to this shit for 2 console generations, now going on into a 3rd. But, you know, get it right there, and that's really it. You have your account, have all your fucking games with it. But, unfortunately, there does have to be a downside to all of this. Unfortunately. The first thing is that I myself personally kind of hate the aspect of having no option of having physical games. Sure, do I like downloading stuff? Most definitely, but I like having the option of, do you want to get a physical copy or do you want to get a digital copy of the game? And I know that certain games can only be digital because, you know, you can't really dedicate a game to a physical disc and stuff like that because it's such a small game, but at the same point, I like having the option of, like, those much bigger games. That's what I want. I want to have that option. I don't like when options are taken away from me entirely. You know, when I look at a lot of niche games that didn't do all that well, whether it was sales, whether it was marketing, whether it was reviews, anything of that sort, and those games kind of just blip out of existence. You know, the licensing dried up for it, the publisher went out of business, the developer went out of business. When I think about stuff like that, and I think about the aspect of them having a digital-only version of that game, and it getting taken down, with no other viable option for you to be able to go and obtain the game and enjoy it, that fucking sucks. And that has happened, and it will continue to happen. It happened last gen, it happened this gen, it's going to happen next gen. And that's the fucking truth. Then also think about like stuff like this. Gaikai, while a very nice service to be able to play your PS1, PS2, PS3 games, you know damn well that they aren't going to have 100% of the catalog available for each one of those platforms. That's the truth. Look online right now on PlayStation 2 Classics, PS1 Classics. Doesn't matter what region you're in right now. Go and look. How many games are missing? How many hundreds of games are missing? Fucking tons. The only way that we would be able to get any of this stuff is if there was physical games. Physical games. Shit like that. So if we go with the digital-only mentality, that means that down the road we could be missing out on stuff just due to unforeseen circumstances that are unavoidable. That fucking sucks. So the fact that we don't have an option to have a physical copy that we can keep in, you know, it's tangible. It's something we own. We can call our own. And this isn't just like, you know, oh, you said it because you're a collector. No, there's lots of people that like to physically hold and own their stuff. Whether it's movies, whether it's books, whether it's games, you know, whatever. You know, there's a lot of people that want to be able to have it. Not having that option could actually alienate thousands, even hundreds of thousands of fans from wanting to go and embrace the next gen and everything there forward. I mean, you'll have a lot of people just saying, you know what, I'm fine with this gen and everything there back. Fuck you. And the thing is, this isn't going to be just like a one type of person saying it, or 2, or 10. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot. I understand that their focus on something like this could be a lot cheaper in the long run for them, but is it going to be, you know, what is ultimately best for gaming? What's best for the consumer? What's best for their business model? Is this going to be best for them in general? Like, is it? It's kind of hard to say because, you know, we're talking about stuff in the future. So PlayStation 5 may not ever exist. You know, Xbox One, I don't know what the fuck they would call the next Xbox, but there may not be one after that. Is Nintendo going to quit making hardware as well? Because naturally they haven't said anything about that, but they have been embracing a lot of digital stuff lately. And this kind of just makes me think like, holy shit, it could be really awesome and it could suck really bad all at the same time. It's one of those things, it's a lot to wrap your head around. You know, I've always thought about it's eventually going to happen. I know that it's eventually going to happen. Is it going to be the be-all, end-all fucking doom, you know, some fucking damnation prophecy of gaming? Absolutely not. But it isn't going to make everybody happy. That's the fucking truth of the matter. If they do decide that they want to go digital and physical again on PlayStation 5 and next Xbox and next Nintendo console, I would prefer if they gave us the option of physical and digital only. But if it is digital only, are they going to make little set-top boxes that we can go and play this stuff on? You know, a Nintendo device that is pretty much just like their virtual console and their WiiWare service and things of that nature. Is that what's going to be on there? Or are we just going to have something that's like PlayStation Home and the PSN network and stuff like that? You know, are we going to have something with an Xbox branding on it with like avatars running rampant all over the place and, you know, the fucking big old dashboard and stuff like that? Is that what we're going to see? Are we going to be playing Nintendo games on pretty much every other device in the entire world, which a lot of people already do thanks to the wonderful world of emulators and ROMs like that, but legally, will people be doing something like that without jailbreaking and a whole shit ton of stuff like that? You know, it's just kind of fucking nuts to think about. You know, could we finally see Nintendo games on Steam? I mean, we see Sega games on there, which it's really fucking awesome, to be honest, because they have something like hella fucking awesome deals, and Humble Bundle just, oh, that's fucking awesome. But I think about this, and I'm just like, damn, like, this is one of those things, there's a lot to embrace, wrap your brain around, and just, fuck me running. There's a lot. So, if you have opinions, thoughts, feelings, anything like that, I'm sure that you do, because there's a lot to fucking say. This is one of those things, I wish there was video responses for this, because holy fuck, would this be a good time to have them. Google, why'd you have to go and take this away? Why the fuck did you have to take them away? Why'd you have to take them away, man? But seriously, this would have been a good time for it. But we have a comment box at least, so that's one way to go and talk about it. This is one of those things of news you may want to go and talk about with a bunch of gaming friends and shit like that. Anyway, spreading news around, it's a big fucking deal, man. Anyway, this is AlphaOmegaSin, as always. Nerds, nerdettes, and gamers, game the fuck on.